Hi there, my name is Jan Potgieter, founder and CEO of Jan Potgieter & Associates, and in this video I'm going to give you 12 reasons why you should be applying for an invitation to attend the Masters Negotiation Academy. Let's start with reason number 1, results. Over the past 13 years I've made it my daily mission to get to the bottom of those unifying characteristics, the things that people have in common that are deemed to be the elite level negotiators out there. So the top 5% of global business negotiators. And I've studied the research, the body of knowledge that's available around what predicts or what brings about high performance in the areas of business, in the areas of sports, politics, arts. And we've identified what these unifying characteristics are. And we've combined that with the existing body of knowledge, the research that's available today around best practices within a global context in support of negotiations, and we've weaved that into the DNA of the Masters Negotiation Academy. So your attendance to the Masters Negotiation Academy is immediately going to have a profound and significant impact on your negotiation results. We will share with you those techniques, strategies, tactics used by the top 5% of negotiators out there, the folks who perform at the absolute pinnacle of the negotiation environment. And that'll set you up with the results to get more margins from your transactions, to save against your spend, to improve the quality of your relationships, to resolve conflict, to be more influential. In summary, it's really going to set you up with the skills to lead in the context of negotiation. So it's all about leadership. The Masters Negotiation Academy is really targeted and focused on equipping you to be a negotiation leader in the global context, so that you're empowered with the insights, the skills and the tools, equipped with all of these things that will help you to succeed at the same level as the top 5% of negotiators out there. Let's take a look at what some of our clients have to say.
They got a brief and immediately went into a videotaped negotiation. I mean, that's an approach where you put people in a nice way out of the comfort zone and go straight into the business. And that is what we really like about it.
We were able to not only look at the specific Adidas needs from a branding point of view, but also we were having then customized examples that were talking about negotiations with individuals or with organizational entities, which obviously also are very different depending on who you meet.
Different trainers train you slightly different way every time. It's about, that's a very valuable part of the preparation. And Jan has given to me a different perspective, the way to look at it. All the trainings I've had until now, they told you you have to have this and that structure. And all the trainers we've had always give all around the same kind of structure. But the way Jan delivered the training was totally different. And the way you really look at it, really, even the focusing on the person really going to see what organization and prepare yourself accordingly, rather than this like, A, B, C, D, E that we've always been given until now.
The day after the course finished, 2 of our employees actually expressed to me that they've managed to save the company thousands of pounds on a negotiation deal that they didn't have the confidence to do beforehand.
I'd recommend the negotiation training to a lot of people actually. In the room today there was people from a variety of different sectors and in a variety of different positions.
The training intervention, if you like, has helped many of my team to have the confidence to be able to go into what on the face of it would be quite challenging and exciting negotiations.
The world is shrinking. Markets are evolving more rapidly than at any time in history. And at the heart of every business is the powerful communication that we call negotiation.
I'm someone who's used to selling. I'm a film producer. I'm used to being in negotiation and bartering and getting what I want. But in life I find the stuff you know that you don't know. But TNA was all about the stuff I didn't know. And it brought all of that to me and gave me these fantastic new tools, some of which were just profoundly simple.
that you take some theoretical concept and some models, but actually adapt that to the real life. And what I find with my people is they can take a model, and when I see them with customers, they're putting that theory into practice.
They seem to have very much a global mindset. They are very international people, and that's what we're looking for.
We're the best organisation that I've found, not just for understanding and empathising with our specific business situation, but then delivering the training in a really engaging way to basically make the training experience a unique one.
What I can tell you is that we have been able to save the company a significant amount of money because of the negotiation training course.
They train the very best people to be the very best negotiators.
I have come all over from India, and I have gained an insight into the global culture, because various cross-sections of the people all over the world were present here, and we felt as if we were only one globe, we were only one community.
Okay, so moving on, there's a significant opportunity. So if you're in possession of the same level of skill as the top 5% of negotiators out there, there are two distinct opportunities for you to capitalize on. And there's profound rewards waiting for you if you can equip yourself with the skills to successfully grab these two opportunities and make them work in your favor. The first one is globalization. So we've seen the world globalize so fast, so rapidly. As a matter of fact, it's still increasing, the rate of globalization today as we speak. What this means is that the business landscape is forever changed, right? Even if you're working for a small organization now, you're negotiating and you're doing business globally. You'll probably, where you're watching from, you'll recognize that in your small community, you'll have people present from all over the world. The people that be supplying you, the people that you're selling to, increasingly are part of territories and geographies outside of the one where you're located. This is a trend that's just going to continue to accelerate. It's fueled by the advances in telecommunications technology. It's fueled by the explosion in air travel. So it's not going to go away. What this means for negotiation is that, the traditional approaches to negotiation was really founded in this monocultural environment that we had in the West. So primarily driven by research and thought leadership that were put out by the United States and the United Kingdom, which was really great whilst it worked in a monocultural environment, but it's not so good anymore today. It's lost its impact because, and I see this advocated from so many universities, from established training providers, that they advocate this approach to negotiation that's linear and sequential, where they say, you know what, negotiation is a 3-step process or a 5-step or a 7-step process, and this is a way that you approach things. That just doesn't work in a global world. We're in a multipolar society today. You have to have a model to approach negotiation with that can stand up to complexity. We live in a very complex world today. So you need a due diligence model, if you will, that'll help you to understand all the best practices that support negotiation, and then how you can take these best practices and apply them to your specific negotiations in such a way to make sure that you optimize the outcomes of those negotiations. So the elite level, the new generation of global negotiators, they understand this. They understand the power that's vested in understanding globalization, how you can leverage this complexity to your advantage. The second profound and very important opportunity that there is for you to capitalize on, but this is only the case if you're truly prepared to join the elite level of negotiators, is we see that there's been a wholesale erosion of trust in the business world. So unfortunately, this is also a trend that's accelerating. It's not slowing down. It's almost become acceptable for us to expect in business transactions that people are going to be dealing with us in a way that's tactical, self-serving, that lacks dignity, lacks integrity. We increasingly see that a handshake is not good enough just to seal a deal. People treat us in ways that are, quite frankly, if you think about it today versus 30, 40 years ago, so tactical that it's ridiculous. We just see some of the things that have happened. A lot of the erosion of trust has been driven perhaps by segments of the financial industry, but we've seen it in government, even within first world governments. We've seen it within non-profits, also within the first world, and we've certainly seen it within the executive suites of some very notable, very well-known organizations. So this erosion of trust is really, it's a cancer that's spread everywhere. You know, it's not just within business, it's wherever you find yourself in the world of commerce. We find people just almost thinking it's okay to treat things in a tactical way that's devoid of integrity, that's devoid of respect, treating others with dignity, you know, using trust as a foundation for long-term relationships. Now, the elite level negotiators, the top 5%, they understand the value of trust, integrity, treating people with dignity and respect, because these things that I just mentioned, those things are the foundations of long-term, mutually beneficial relationships. And you have to be able to recognize when these tactics are being used against you. You have to be able to reframe or recast the whole negotiation in such a way that it's centered around the principles of trust, integrity, respect, dignity. And you need to be able to use the principle of reciprocity to your advantage, you know, which says that human nature is to return the behavior that's exhibited towards you. So if somebody's nice to you, then you're nice to them. If somebody treats you tactically, then the gut instinct for you, of course, is to respond in a tactical way. But the true power is vested in violating this rule of reciprocity. And so the top 5% of negotiators, they understand that you can harness these two things, the ever-increasing complexity of negotiations because of the cross-cultural and the global dimensions and the erosion of trust. If you're equipped with the tools to deal with those things, you will stand out. You will be a go-to negotiator. People will want to deal business or want to do business with you. They'll promote you, they'll support you, because you will be so different to what the world has become accustomed to. Let's take a look at point number 4, experience. So the key thing that we can give you when you attend the Masters Negotiation Academy is perspective. I've had the opportunity over the past 13 years to work in more than 50 countries. I've, in a personal capacity, face-to-face, in a seminar format, in an intimate seminar format. So this is not just me, you know, in my public speaking role, speaking to hundreds of people at a time. I'm talking about 2-day seminars where I actively train people face-to-face in a practical, physical setting. Trained over 8,500 people. I've negotiated on camera, one-on-one, with a touch over 3,000 people. And these people have represented most major industries out there. So why do I tell you this? Not to impress you, but to impress upon you that the most valuable thing that I can bring you is perspective. I can probably take a look at some of the challenges that you're facing. We can look at your preferences and the way that you approach negotiation by default. And we can contrast and compare that with what we've seen elsewhere and give you some insights into how you can adjust your performance so that you can get optimal results from your negotiations, so that you can join the elite 5% of negotiators out there and achieving tremendous results from your negotiations. So just on another note, I had the opportunity to do an executive MBA with the major in negotiation skills years ago whilst I was still a resident in South Africa. And that gave me the opportunity to get my head around some of the research that supports this topic. I've also tapped into all the forums that exist in negotiations with the world's leading universities, places like Harvard, Oxford, INSEAD, LESSEC, and you know, these things have all informed my approach. But predominantly and practically speaking, I'm not an academic. I'm a business person. I'm a businessman. I run my own small business. I've consulted on negotiations. Of course, I promote and sell my own business solutions. So I negotiate myself with big organizations. I have a background where I also worked for big business, where I worked in an enterprise sales environment. So I have a keen understanding of some of the challenges that we find in the business context. I've had the opportunity to live on 3 continents, in the US, in Africa, in the United Kingdom. So I've gathered great insight into some of these global challenges that we're facing in the business world today. For the Masters Negotiation Academy, I'm joined by Marty Surratt in delivery. And Marty, you know, he's a dear friend, and he's a business partner with a fantastic pedigree and background. You know, he has credentials gained in the Fortune 500 environment where he was a senior executive. He himself has trained, thousands of people in I think in excess of 20 different countries. He has a great interest in personal development. He has a very, very successful record in the sales environment where he had more than 500 salespeople reporting to him. And, he's a great person of integrity, a person with deep values, old-fashioned values, where he really understands what motivates relationships, what gets people to get over the line and deliver their commitment to move in your direction. So the two of us will be leading the Masters Negotiation Academy. There's one more point to mention here, and that's, you may have been wondering why we expect you to apply for an invitation to attend the Masters Negotiation Academy. And this is for one simple reason. We want to make sure that you have the experience so that you can also add to the experience of your counterparts. So we want your experience to be able to inform them of some ways that they can improve the way they negotiate. So we're trying to create a peer level environment. We also make sure that we never have more than 12 people in any particular masterclass, so that you can get that, that one-on-one insight and intervention that you need within that context. Okay, let's take a look at number 5. So what are the benefits? What can you expect as a result of your attendance to the Masters Negotiation Academy? Well, number 1, your value in the market is going to go up. You most definitely get paid for the results that you deliver within the marketplace. Now, we know, and it's no surprise, brain surgeons make a lot of money because they have a high degree of skill. Most of us get paid on the level of skill that we have. So the one way to increase your value is to improve your skills. The one sure way to increase your value is to improve your skills. We also know that repetition is the mother of skill. So I've so often seen people attend one negotiation training course and then they think, you know what, that's it, done. I've got that baby mastered. But of course, that's ridiculous. You would never try to take up golf or playing the piano and go, well, you know what, I'm going to do 1, maybe 2 lessons, and then that's okay, I'm on top of this game. I'm on top of playing the piano. The same thing is true in the context of negotiation. I've been doing this day in, day out for over 13 years now, and I still learn something new, and I kid you not, just about every week. I find out, I discover something new about human nature, I discover something new about different cultures, I discover something new about the nuances of negotiation, of communication, of influence. All you have to be is teachable. That's one of the unifying characteristics of successful people, is that they're teachable. Isn't it surprising that you see that normally people who hold the senior positions in organizations, that they're the ones that are prepared to submit themselves to coaching, to hiring advisors. They don't think that they know it all. They're prepared to learn. So this forum is one that's created for people that are teachable. You'll be surrounded by people just like yourself who have a lot of experience. They will have attended some negotiation training courses in the past, and they will be teachable. This is perhaps one of the most significant benefits of attending the Masters Negotiation Academy, is the company that you're going to keep. You're going to be in a room full of people who have expressed their desire to be part of this new generation of elite global negotiators, and they will have invested in that journey by having completed some negotiation training beforehand and by having gotten under their belt some significant negotiation experience. So another key benefit is that you will be empowered you'll be equipped and empowered with the tools and the confidence that you need to be able to resolve conflict, to become a very persuasive communicator. So we'll examine the principles of persuasion in some detail and equip you with the ability to be significantly more likely to get a yes to the request that you make. We will equip you with the skills. We will examine what it is that results in long-term relationships being created, and how you can invest in those so that they deliver mutual value. We'll specifically empower you with the skills to take these tactical approaches that lack integrity, that are consistent with the erosion of trust in the business world in general, and how to recast those in a way that you can completely create a new context and a new framework for success in that environment. We will give you the structure that you need so that you can prepare for negotiations in a way that will equip you with the ability to measure your outcomes. You know, this is one of the fascinating things that I've learned, is that wherever I go around the world and I ask organizations, or even people, if they're good negotiators, or the people working for them are good negotiators or not, irrespective of their response, so whether they say yes or no, I've never come across somebody yet who can just provide me with the evidence as to why they say they're good or they're bad. For this simple reason, you cannot improve anything unless you measure it, right? So now people on the buy side will say to me, yeah, but it's easy. It's very easy to measure any improvement in negotiation on the buy side because simply put, we see a saving against our budgeted spend. But it's not that simple. Can you guarantee that there's been no changes in the market, that your supplier markets have not changed, or there's been no strategic shifts in the economy? It's not that simple. What you need is a standardized way to prepare and engage in negotiations. You need a framework, if you will. So think about it. Usain Bolt, when he runs 100 meters, the way he measures success is by timing his results, right? And he knows if he's doing better or worse by looking at whether he's doing it faster or slower. In the same way, you need a framework so that you prepare for your negotiations in a consistent way, engage in a consistent way, and then debrief them in a consistent way so that you can then make a determination as to whether you're getting better or worse at what you're doing. And you can identify what it is that requires the attention so that you can get improved results in those areas. Also, we're going to equip you with the ability to do this at an organizational level, not just your personal level. So how can you make sure that the organization, the department, the team that you represent, how can you lift the overall negotiation performance of the entire team, the entire department, the entire organization, so that you can gain competitive advantage as a result? So there's a comprehensive framework. So we're talking about negotiation strategy at an organizational level. We're talking about the supporting processes, the templates. We're going to equip you with all of that knowledge, how to recruit negotiators, so how to look out for negotiation skills when you're recruiting, how to coach, how to lead negotiation teams, how to coach individuals to improve their performance. These are all the things that we're going to equip you with when you attend the Masters Negotiation Academy. Okay, let's move on. Point number 6. What's the agenda? So we've split the masterclass into 2 segments. So it runs over 3 days. The first 2 days, the focus is all on you as a person. So we get you to negotiate individually with either myself or with Marty. You will receive detailed feedback from both Marty and myself on your individual performance, as well as a 360 performance. So we're all going to contribute some insights into the negotiation performance of those in the room. We're going to examine detailed individual profiles, preference profiles. So you'll be completing 2 of those that give us a detailed insight into your personal preferences in the context of communications and negotiation styles. We're going to examine in detail the principles of persuasive communication. We're going to look at the factors that influence climate, so the environment that you're in, nonverbal communication. We're going to investigate in significant detail. We're going to look at the most common commercial negotiation tactics. We're going to look at those tactics specifically that people use in support of eroding the trust, or when they see that there's no collaborative intent, really. So to help you identify when there's no collaborative intent, when there's only competitive intent, so that you can defend yourself and so that you can recast the negotiations in a collaborative context. We also set you up with all the tools that you need within this first section, the personal section, to be able to detect your counterpart's personality traits and how to influence their personality traits more effectively, depending on what you've identified as their preferences to be. The second part focuses focuses on the organizational aspects. So we're going to empower you, equip you with the tools to identify how to recruit for negotiation capability. So what is it you need to look out for when you're hiring people to represent your organization, either as a buyer, as a seller, as an executive, or in any other role where they can potentially impact the margin? There's certain things that you need to look out for. We're going to set you up with the templates and the tools you need to craft an organizational negotiation strategy so that you can lift the average performance of everyone around you. We're going to look at the negotiation process, the specific preparation checklist that you can use to equip those around you with the ability they need to consistently improve their negotiation outcomes. We're going to talk about what it is that you need to do to be a successful negotiation coach so that you can deliver insights to others, recommendations as to how they can improve their negotiation results. And we're going to equip you with the skills to be the go-to negotiation leader within your organization or environment. So we're going to talk about those leadership skills that you need to demonstrate to become part of this new generation of elite level global negotiators. Okay, so moving on, point number 7. What is the investment you're going to have to make to participate in the Masters Negotiation Academy? So if you consider all the contents that we've packaged, if you consider the investment of time, effort and resource over the past 13 years that I've invested, that Marty Surratt has invested in understanding these key characteristics of high-performing and elite-level negotiators, you would have to invest significant time and effort in your own global travels. You would have to attend courses, not just 2-day seminars, but perhaps even year-long certificate-type programs into psychology, into understanding, maybe seminars on persuasive communication, on presentation skills, on complex selling, on negotiation, cross-cultural negotiation, cross-cultural communication. It would cost you a significant sum of money to get sight of some of these things. I've personally invested, and this is no joke, in my own education, hundreds of thousands of dollars over the past 13 years. You can have the ability to tap into all of this over a period of 3 days for only £2,450, which is around about $3,500. So that's a pretty good deal. You're going to get an insight into all of this research, into all this insight. Everything that I know, I'm going to share with you. So I'm not going to hide anything. And you're going to get all of this in one place just by turning up and qualifying to attend the Masters Negotiation Academy. You could easily invest in gaining this knowledge, literally hundreds of thousands of dollars. But we've packaged it all so that you can get access to it. Everything summarized, everything packaged for you in a way that for a small investment of £2,500 or just over $3,500, you get it all in one place. Let's move on to point 8. We have a couple of bonuses for you, seminar bonuses. So there are 2 specific bonuses. Number 1, you will receive a personal development plan that's tailored to you specifically. So we're going to contrast your specific negotiation performance against what we know is best practice. And we're going to highlight your strengths so that you can capitalize on those. And we're going to point out your weaknesses so that you can mitigate those. You will receive this within 3 weeks of your attendance. It'll be personally done by me. We will take a look at all your profiles, the recommendations, the feedback that you've received. We aggregate everything over the period of the 3 days. We take a look at it, and I write you a personal report just targeted to your specific needs. The second thing is that should you wish to complete a written examination after your attendance to the Masters Negotiation Academy, and let me say this, it's not the easiest of written examinations because we want to make sure that we keep the quality high. Then if you should pass that, then you receive JPA Negotiation Coach certification, which means that we endorse your ability then to act as a coach to be able to advise others on the preparation for their negotiations, on offering insights and recommendations as to how they can optimize their negotiation outcomes. So both those 2 things are 100% included in your seminar fee. Point number 9. You know, it's always been my intent to build the best program in the world. I had the opportunity some years ago to enter into a World of Learning contest here in the United Kingdom, and our advanced program got selected as the best instructor-led training program in the UK. That's testament to, I think, the dedication of my team, the intent that we've had to make sure that we deliver the world's best negotiation training program for business people. I'm so confident that this is the industry-leading course that you will not find anything better, and I include any leading university, any other training provider in this, that you will not find better than what we're going to present you with. I feel so confident of this that we're prepared to underwrite it with a 100% money-back guarantee. If at the end of the 3 days you don't come to us and say, listen, this has been worth every penny of our investment, then no quibble, no questions asked, we will just issue you a refund. So there's no risk to you in terms of your attendance. Do you know, it's urgent. You shouldn't sit around thinking about whether you should be attending this Masters Negotiation Academy or not, or whether you should be applying for an invitation. These trends of globalization and the erosion of trust, they're ever accelerating. It's not going to go away, right? The longer it takes for you to equip yourself with the skill to join the new generation, the elite level, these 5% of the world's top negotiators, the longer you're going to be suffering suboptimal returns, the longer you're going to be taken advantage of and exploited by those professional negotiators who don't embrace the same values that you might be embracing. So don't think about it too long. There's no risk for you to attend. There's only upside. So I wouldn't think about it too long. Go ahead and apply for your invitation to attend. Do you know, this is another thing that we feel strongly about. When you attend, we also wish for you to be able to bring around or bring with you somebody who's important to you within your business environment. It might be a business partner, it might be a key colleague, it might be somebody on your team. We want you to be able to go back to the workplace and have more than just your insight contributing to the increased success of the organization. Maybe we want to add to that by helping you to spread this knowledge amongst the organization that you represent as quickly and as efficiently as possible. So this is why what we're going to do is we're going to give you a 50% reduction. So a bonus ticket at a 50% reduction should you qualify to attend the Masters Negotiation Academy. Clearly, the person that wished to, or the person that you recommend to avail themselves of this bonus ticket, they will also have to qualify for attending the Masters Negotiation Academy. So effectively, for half price, you can bring a second person to the Masters Negotiation Academy. So lastly, what now? Well, what we've done is we've looked through these 12 reasons why you should be attending. We've spoken about the results that you can expect. You've seen what our clients have to say about us. We've spoken about the opportunity that you have in the context of globalization and the erosion of trust to rise above all of this, to be the standout go-to negotiator in your environment, the one who knows how to get results in this complex, quite tactical, mercenary world. We've spoken about the experience that you'll be able to tap into. We've spoken about the benefits that will accrue to you. We've talked about the agenda, what you can expect. We've spoken about the very reasonable investment fee for you to attend, the 2 bonuses, your personal development plan, the negotiation coach certification. We've spoken about the money back guarantee. There's no point in waiting. You get a bonus ticket at 50%, at a 50% reduction. So what I'm going to recommend you do now is you hit that button that says apply now. And I look forward to speaking to you on the phone, evaluating your application, and perhaps meeting you at the Masters Negotiation Academy. Thank you for your time.